Welcome back to the channel. We have got our in-season tournament, our NBA Cup predictions here in the NBA on November 12th. This marks the beginning of the NBA Cup, they are calling it this season. We've got 8 games on the docket today, and I think this makes this games a little bit more predictable, or at least easier to predict, at least for the in-season tournament, considering these teams are really trying to win these games. Now, the reward for teams winning the in-season tournament, it's not obviously anything that's going to take you to the playoffs. Obviously, you'll get those wins, but it's $500,000 per player, which is great. But for the fans, it just gives us some excitement, I guess, in the middle of the season. However, I think, again, it makes these games a little bit easier to predict for the only reason that teams are actually trying to win these games. And again, it's not like teams aren't trying to win every single game, every single game for the 82 games in the entire year, but these especially matter, and teams are going to play their guys big minutes to try to go out there and win these type of games. So I think it does make these games a little bit easier to predict, and hopefully we do well today on these predictions. And folks, if you haven't yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more NBA predictions here on the channel. Again, we are doing these daily, as well as our college basketball best bets, which is coming out later on the channel in about an hour time, so go make sure to check out that video later today on the channel, as well as our college football predictions, which are posting later today on the channel as well, around noon Pacific and 3 p.m. on the East Coast, as well as our NFL predictions that will come out on the channel tomorrow, and our UFC 309 predictions between John Jones and Steve Miocic for the heavyweight championship. That video was posted yesterday on the channel. Link is in the description down below, or 2 days ago actually. But yes, the link is in the description down below as we get into the NBA Cup games. Our first one being the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Boston Celtics. Easy pick, obviously, on the winner. We've got the Boston Celtics. The Celtics are 9-2. They are playing some of the best basketball in the NBA right now. I'll make the case they're the second best team in the league right now, only behind the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are still undefeated. They went out and beat Milwaukee in their last game, and the Bucks are playing better basketball, and we'll get to Milwaukee in a little bit here in this video. But Boston just finds ways to win games. They're 9-2 this year. They beat Brooklyn two games ago by 4 points. They beat Milwaukee by 6 points. Jason Tatum, again, is one of the best players in the NBA. He has established himself again as a superstar in this league. Obviously, he did that with the championship, but now look at Tatum excel in this regular season. And again, Jason Tatum should be in the most valuable player race. He should be. Boston's 9-2. Tatum's averaging 31 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 5 assists a game. The Atlanta Hawks are 4-7. They are a very inconsistent basketball team. They beat the Knicks this season. They beat New Orleans. They beat Charlotte and Brooklyn, but again, 7 losses as well, including back-to-back to Washington, and their last 2 losses being the Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, it's rough. I mean, Trae Young needs help, guys. He needs help on this basketball team. He's averaging 24 points a game and 12 assists, Last game against Chicago on Saturday night, 16 assists for Trae Young. Not enough in that victory that the Bulls had against Atlanta. Chicago ended up winning the game by 12 points. I think the Hawks cover the spread. I don't think they get blown out by that much against this Boston team, so 15.5. Again, I think they keep it within that range. But obviously, it goes without saying we're taking the Celtics to win this game in the first NBA Cup game of the video. Give me Boston to win the game by less than 15 points, but again, they'll win the game as a whole. Let's go on to our next one. We move on to Detroit. We've got the Detroit Pistons hosting the Miami Heat. We like the Heat to go on the road and beat Detroit in this one. The line's virtually even in this one. Again, Miami is slight favorite, and we're going to take advantage of this. Miami's the better team. Now, I've been very harsh on Miami all season long, but again, I really like their win that they got against the Timberwolves. Tyler Hero at 26. Shout out to Nikola Jovic. Jovic has been playing really well for Miami. Obviously, had the big shot at the end of the game, but Jovic, is a key part of this Miami team. And for the Heat, obviously, this goes every single season for the Heat, but they just have to find a way to get to the playoffs. It's just how they play. I'm serious. They just got to find a way to get into the dance. Everything in the regular season, truly, for Miami, doesn't really matter all that much as long as they can find their way to the postseason. Okay? Again, as long as they're able to get to the 9, 8, 7 seed, they should be fine. I think they'll beat the Pistons here. The Pistons, won a couple nights ago against the Atlanta Hawks, but then dropped one to the Houston Rockets. Again, it's a playoff-like game now for the Miami Heat, which means they are going to try to win this basketball game. Okay? For Detroit, again, they got Cade some help. For the last couple nights, it's still been all Cade Cunningham. He had 2 back-to-back triple-doubles, and then he had that game against Houston where he dropped 26, 8, and 9. Again, most nights, Cade Cunningham will lead this team in points and assists, and the last 3 nights, he's led them in rebounds as well. Cade Cunningham still does everything for the Detroit Pistons. They're at home in this game against the Miami Heat. I'd expect Miami to win this game. Jimmy Butler is not playing this one for the Heat. Regardless, I still feel fine with them winning. Again, it's a playoff-like game for the Miami Heat, which means Miami should get it done. Give me Miami to win on the road against the Detroit Pistons. Obviously, again, if we're picking them to win this game, they will cover the 1.5 points as well. We like the Miami Heat to go on the road and beat the Detroit Pistons. Next up, we go on to Orlando. We've got the Orlando Magic taking on the Charlotte Hornets. I don't like that the Magic are minus 280 favorites in this game. Ultimately, yes, I do think they'll win the game, but I think that line is too much for Orlando. I don't think it should be that big. I get it. Back-to-back blowout victories against the New Orleans Pelicans and the Washington Wizards. Well, the New Orleans Pelicans guys are an auto fade in every game they play. We faded them yesterday with the Brooklyn Nets, and we successfully cashed in that game with Brooklyn on the road in New Orleans. And again, that's what Orlando did. They beat the Pelicans. They beat the Wizards. They're taking on a Hornets team that plays really competitive and good basketball right now. 3 games. They beat the Pistons in a close game. They win by 1. They beat the Pacers at home by 20 points, and they barely lose by 2 on the road at Philadelphia in overtime in that game on Sunday. LaMelo Ball at 38 points in that one. It was not enough for the victory. But again, Charlotte plays teams competitively, man. They stick around in games, and LaMelo Ball, of course, is the guy who keeps them in basketball games as well. That's why I feel like 6.5 points is not enough, and plus 280 doesn't feel all that great either. I'm taking the Hornets to cover the spread. 6.5, again, is just too many points. We are going to take Orlando to win a nail-biter. No Wendell Carter Jr., I believe, in this game today for them, but, Franz Wagner, we said this again with the Orlando Magic, post-Paolo Banchero injury. Who is going to be the guy on this Orlando Magic team that's going to step up? Who's going to be the guy that's going to step up, and who's going to be the guy that's going to be their number one? We thought maybe it'd be Jalen Suggs. No, it's Franz Wagner. And that's fine. Franz Wagner's been excelling in that role. The 2 wins, and even that loss against the Pacers, right? 28 points in the loss in Indiana. The win over New Orleans, 27. The win against the Wizards, 23. Again, Wagner has stepped up to the plate. Good. That's what Orlando needed, and that's who they need to lead the charge for them until Banchero comes back. I think Orlando wins this game. I think they're going to win a close one, though. I think LaMelo Ball is able to keep this Charlotte team. And LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Miles Bridges, not Mikal Bridges. Miles Bridges is able to keep them in this basketball game. Actually, is Bridges out? Bridges is out, isn't he? Wait. Oh, Miles Bridges is out of this game. Ew, that makes it difficult. That's why 6.5. Is Bridges hurt? Yeah, he is. He's been out for a couple games. He's still out, I believe, for this one. Anyways, regardless, I think the Hornets keep this game competitive. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, they should be able to stay within the 6.5 points. I don't think they win, but I think the Hornets keep it competitive. Give me Orlando to win the game, but I think the Hornets cover the 6.5 points. As we go on to the first of 2 on the TNT doubleheader. This is one hell of a game to have on TNT. You have the New York Knicks going on the road against the Philadelphia 76ers. Well, Philadelphia finally got a win. Their second of the season in their last game. They went out and they beat the Charlotte Hornets in overtime. Shout out to Jared McCain, the TikTok star at Duke, the rookie. Jared McCain with 27 points led the 76ers in points, and they won the game in overtime against the Charlotte Hornets. This is a Sixers team that is 2-7, and we said it again. When Paul George came back from injury, Paul George is not immediately going to step into this lineup and become the number one. He's not. New team, injury, they're going to need someone else. That someone else might be Jared McCain. Can't believe I'm saying it. Jared McCain's a hooper, man. He is. He is a good basketball player. You can clown him because of what he does on TikTok, and maybe you can call him an unserious basketball player. No, Jared McCain should be in the starting lineup for the Philadelphia 76ers. He should be. He should be starting over Kyle Lowry. I get it. Maybe he doesn't know how to facilitate an offense yet, like the veteran Kyle Lowry does, but no, I want to see Jared McCain start for this basketball team. I like Jared McCain a lot. I think he should be starting. Paul George had 33 minutes, went 6 for 18, 15 points in that game against the Charlotte Hornets. He led the starting lineup in points. Is Philly still in trouble, guys? Jared McCain's I like Jared McCain, but the rookie Jared McCain in his 9th game led their team in scoring. It's not a winning formula. The Knicks are 4-5. I get it. Why are they only minus 115 in this game? We are hammering the New York Knicks. Now, when something doesn't make sense with the NBA lines, something's usually up. I said this yesterday with the Sacramento Kings taking on the San Antonio Spurs, and what happened? The Spurs won. But guys, this doesn't make sense. I get it. The Knicks have been very off and on this season. They're 4-5. They lost to the Pacers. They've lost three out of 4. Rockets, Hawks, Pacers. But they're playing a 76ers team that Paul George hasn't played well yet this season. They have a leading scorer who's a guy coming off the bench, Jared McCain, who's played 10 professional basketball games. No Tyrese Maxey, no Joel Embiid means no winning for the 76ers. It's that serious. Oh, I forgot. Embiid's back this week. Oh, crap. Embiid is back in this game against the Knicks. Now it makes sense. Regardless, I don't care. I'm still taking the Knicks. Because why? It's Embiid's first game back. Gonna take him some time. He hasn't played all of the season yet. Right? Embiid is back, right? He's served the suspension, right? Oh, crap. Yeah, he is back. I don't care. I actually don't care. I'm still taking the Knicks. I'm still taking Jalen Brunson. I'm still taking Karl Anthony Towns. I'm still taking what the Knicks have put together this season. I think, again, I like the cat addition to this team. You put Karl Anthony Towns immediately on Embiid, who has to come back. Again, this Knicks team spreads the floor. I think it's going to be rough on Embiid coming back into this game against New York, especially in the in-season tournament game. The Knicks are going to be trying their hardest to win this basketball game against the 76ers, who again are 2-7. They get Embiid back, but still, give me New York to win. You still get inconsistency out the gate out of Paul George, and then also, again, Embiid is just coming back. I like the Knicks to win this basketball game. I think they'll cover the 1.5. I'm not going to say we're going to hammer it like I was earlier, because I forgot that Embiid's back, but still, we are taking the New York Knicks to win. They're going to spoil Embiid's return, give me the Knicks to win the ball game, and go to 1-0 in the in-season tournament. Next up, we go on to Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Bucks take on the Toronto Raptors. I mean, it's a good game for the Bucks to get to start off the in-season tournament. No Damian Lillard tonight. He is injured. He's out with the concussion. It should be all right. They should still win this game. I think the Raptors actually have a chance. But it's either the Bucks win, they blow them out, or this game's really competitive and the Raptors win. That's kind of how I see this game. Still no Scotty Barnes for the Raptors. Jacoby Walter's still out with injury. Emmanuel Quickley may or may not play. The Raptors are coming off a game where they were close to the Lakers until they weren't. The Lakers, were down at halftime, or I think it was close at halftime. Lakers ended up pulling away and winning the game by 20 points. God, who's going to score other than Giannis tonight? Who is going to score? Giannis averages 32. Dame gives you 26. And then you got Bobby Portis with 12, Brook Lopez with 9, AJ Green and Taurean Prince and Gary Trent with 7. Oh, man. Someone's going to have to step up. Chris Middleton's not back yet, right? I'm pretty sure Middleton's still out. I'm pretty certain Middleton is not back. Yeah. Middleton's not playing tonight. Someone's got to step up. Again, this game goes one of two ways. The Bucks win, they're dominant, they control the game from pillar to post, and they blow out the Raptors. Or the Raptors keep it competitive, and they pull away at the end. Again, I'm taking Giannis in a game that the Bucks are going to actively, again, try their hardest to win. It's an in-season tournament game. The Bucks, again, I know they're, 2-8, 3-8. 2-8. God, they're bad. The Raptors are 2-9. Oh my goodness, this is a piss poor game. I'm gonna side with the guy though that's won the championship before, in Giannis Antetokounmpo, not the in-season tournament championship, because that's only won by the in-season tournament champions last year, the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, I got this by going to their next game after the in-season tournament where they lost the Knicks. They gave everyone this shirt. Actually, this wasn't even a coincidence. No, it is a coincidence I'm wearing this shirt. I didn't mean to. Actually, this wasn't this wasn't on purpose that I wore the shirt. I kid you not. I literally just realized this as I was talking. I'm going to take the Bucks, though. Again, I like the championship experience out of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis knows how to win big games, and I think they should be able to beat the Raptors, a team that is injured without their best player in Scotty Barnes. I get it. The Bucks are without Dame. Someone has to step up. I don't care. Maybe Giannis puts up 50 points. I'm serious. Maybe Giannis puts up 50, and that's how the Bucks win. They'll find a way to win this game, and if they win, they will dominate the Raptors. Give me Giannis and the Bucks to win. They will cover the 7.5 points as well. Next up, we move on to Utah. We got the Utah Jazz hosting the Phoenix Suns. I get it. Kevin Durant's probably not playing tonight. Why are the Jazz getting 3.5? This is too much respect on the Utah Jazz here. The Suns are 8-2. Is Nurkic not playing? Maybe Nurkic isn't playing. He's questionable. Probably going to play. The Jazz are 2-7. What are we doing here? Yeah, they've won 2 of 3, but those are against the Spurs, who are so inconsistent, and the Chicago Bulls, who are very inconsistent. Why are the Suns only getting 3.5 here? Something's up. Okay, something's up. 3.5 points doesn't feel like enough here. I get it, no Kevin Durant, but Devin Booker and Bradley Beal will be able to win this game by more than 3 points, more than 4 points for the Phoenix Suns, okay? We said, again, when Durant was out for that Kings game, we said, all right, someone has to step up. But you know who in particular needs to step up? Because you know D-Book's going to get his points. Bradley Beal needs to do something. And he did. He scored 28. They lost the Mavericks, they lost the Kings. But that's a good sign. It's a really good sign that Bradley Beal's still able to step up and Bradley Beal's still able to show up in games like that. They lost the game in overtime by 9 points. It's fine. It's a loss, but it's not a bad loss for Phoenix, even without Kevin Durant in the lineup. If Beal's able to produce, D-Book's able to continue to produce, they're not losing to the Utah Jazz. And they're not going to be competitive with the Utah Jazz. Games in Salt Lake, don't give a damn. I honestly don't care. The Phoenix Suns will go into Utah and absolutely dominate the Jazz. It's not a competitive game. Phoenix wins it by more than 4. They win it outright. Give me the Suns. Next up, we go to San Francisco, California. We've got the Golden State Warriors against the Dallas Mavericks. We're taking the Warriors to win this game. The get-in price for this game is $210. Oh my goodness. This is a huge game. It's Klay's return to Golden State. It's the game of the night, obviously. Klay returns to San Francisco for the first time. You see it in the thumbnail. There's Klay and Steph Curry in the thumbnail. And here they play. I'm taking the Warriors at home. And again, we'll see how big of a night Thompson has. I don't know. Klay is averaging 14 a game so far tonight. He is the third most leading scorer for the Dallas Mavericks, behind obviously Luka and Kyrie Irving. For the Golden State Warriors, they are 8-2 this season. Their only losses being to the Clippers and the Cleveland Cavaliers, 2 games that we have successfully predicted the Warriors to lose. But that win over OKC was great. Again, I understand the Chet injury and all, but the Warriors still were able to win that game. They were winning, or it was early in the game when Chet went out, but still, the Warriors pulled away from the Thunder in that game. They're up by 30-something points at one point in that game as well on Sunday night. I'd expect them to beat the Dallas Mavericks here. Steph Curry is still proving why he's an elite player in the NBA. You add Buddy Hield to this equation, who, again, I think eventually is going to falter a little bit, but still playing great great basketball right now. Andrew Wiggins, Kuminga, Moody, Melton. I mean, they've got a very solid core around Steph Curry. The Warriors have a bench, and they're very effective as well. I think they beat the Dallas Mavericks. I think there's too many pieces in this game for Dallas. Again, I feel like Klay's going to be forcing up shots. Obviously, again, Kyrie and Luka are going to score, but what the Mavericks have struggled to get this season, and this is the reason why they're 500 and at 5-5 right now, is decent production elsewhere outside of Kyrie and Luka. Same extent as the Bucks. Again, same reason as the Bucks. Not to the same extent, but still, they've struggled to find production elsewhere, and they're going to struggle again to find production against this Golden State Warriors team that they're going to be hyped up to win this game. Draymond's going to have something to say. Give me the Golden State Warriors to win this one. They'll cover the 2.5 points. Steph Curry is one of the best players in basketball, and he's been proving it all season long. Give me the Golden State Warriors to win and improve to 9-2 in the regular season. We go on to our final game. The Portland Trailblazers take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Guys, I was at the Trailblazers-Grizzlies game. It's just the Trailblazers. They started that game 1 for 24 from 3. Jeremy Grant hit a 3 to start the game, and they literally could not hit one the rest of the way. Okay, I don't care. Now, after watching this team in person, the Portland Trailblazers are the worst team in the NBA, and it's not even close. They are so horrible. I'm not mincing words when I'm saying this. The Portland Trailblazers suck. The Minnesota Timberwolves do not suck. Yeah, they lost the Heat their last game. I don't care. They're in Portland this time around. It's fine. Last time they played Portland, they beat them by 25 points in Minnesota. The game being in Oregon doesn't change this equation that much. The Minnesota Timberwolves still dominate. They're the way better basketball team. They have a back-to-back against the Trailblazers, so we're going to pick this game again tomorrow. But guys, we have the same outcome. Minnesota blows them out both games. Because Portland can't shoot. They have some athletic players. Scoot Henderson, Jeremy Grant can kind of shoot it, but no, this team is outmatched in every team they play, in every game they play. Watching that team and the talent they have, you cannot trust the Portland Trailblazers to consistently win basketball games. Minnesota is levels ahead of them, obviously, with Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. We like the Timberwolves a lot tonight. They are definitely winning the basketball game, and I think they will cover the 7.5 points as well. Watching Portland play against the Grizzlies, a team that was missing 3 starters, Morant, Bane, and Smart. No, the Trailblazers suck. They are horrible. They are exactly what we thought they were at the beginning of the regular season. I was fooled because they beat the Clippers and because they beat the Pelicans twice. No, Portland is horrible. Minnesota beats them to a pulp, and it's not competitive. Give me the Timberwolves to dominate in Portland at the Moda Center at the Rose Garden. They'll win the game and win it by more than 8 points. So we're taking Minnesota here for the final of our NBA Cup games here on November 12th. Folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of our picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.